So our topic this week for Debate Club, Adam, is why your face is so hideous.
Oh, fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's time for As the Buckle Turns Debate Club, or as I mispronounced it once, Deblate Cub.
Yep.
Wait, did you cut me off?
Where?
At the beginning of the show.
Oh, yeah, I did. How do you like it now, bitch? I'm Tim.
I'm Adam.
Yeah, the power of editing, buddy. I now have the power.
All right, Tim, what are we talking about this week?
I told you.
No,
face.
not my face.
Wait, that's a completely different subject matter. That's going to be the topic on my podcast over, today we're actually going to be talking about, what should be in a GM wrestling game. Specifically, more on a mobile, type.
It is, by the way, totally weird that AEW has a mobile GM game.
Honestly, it kind of what sparked the idea.
Yeah.
It's not just for a mobile.
It's a total coincidence.
It's not this is like for a mobile and this is not necessarily just for a from a big company like AEW.
Yeah.
We're just talking about if someone who is a wrestling fan wanted to make a mobile GM mode, what would we want out of it? What would you want out? What would I want it? What would we not want to see?
I mean, for me, the GM mode really would be that is a pure booking end of the spectrum, which very niche.
Yes,
but I love it because
also,
I actually do it, and
also,
you do too.
Yeah, it's also the reason why fans love Universe mode.
Yes.
They just want GM features in it.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
So, but with the mobile app for AEW General Manager, yes, like I said, it sparked the idea for this because one of the things I'm seeing on there is like they show the match kind of not like a full-on match, but
it's clearly still alpha.
It's still alpha, but you don't see a full match, but you see the wrestlers wrestle, disappear. You have a match really quickly, especially with the new video that just aired today showing this. I don't care about that.
No,
I don't want that.
No,
honestly. It looks cool. The graphics look amazing.
See, for me, I would rather have, pictures of whoever's in that match and just, a life bar.
Yeah.
That's it.
Personally, because as a person who does fantasy booking from Total Extreme Wrestling 2020, one thing I wish.
Oh, you do? You still do fantasy booking through that?
Yeah, I'm recorded.
Kind of been waiting for some new episodes.
Yeah, I've recorded the entire season. I just gotta record my part and write it.
Oh, the commentary.
And actually film it. So
I'm sorry, what?
And so eventually you'll get it. I just don't know when.
Can I get it sometime in 2021 here?
Not gonna promise that.
Oh, it's February, bro.
Not gonna promise that.
Okay.
If 2021 turns out to be like 2020, then yes, because 20 years passed in 2020.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, because something I do enjoy that program. But one of the things I don't like about it is I don't have a finish. You can't call the finish. Yes, you get to pick who wins. You get to pick who wins, and you do have some say on how you want it to end. Like you want a pinfall, you want a quick roll up, you want a disqualification, you want interference, distraction. You have all that stuff you can do from. But I'm talking of I want this to be ended by a finisher, or I want like more of I could get to call the move. I want this person to win, and I want them to have this move as the finish. I want to actually plan where it is.
Because sometimes, like a specific finish, you're just like the crowd goes nuts for it.
Well, you don't have that necessarily in the fans going nuts part, but where I think of my storylines for fantasy booking, and when I do for my own stuff, I have a specific move in mind or a finish in mind.
I mean, that is a very specific niche market that you're getting into now.
Honestly, I think we'd be surprised how many people would actually do that.
I know.
I don't think they would want to do. Everyone would do it for every match, but I think for like their certain storylines, they would use it.
See, I'm thinking also Now, general fan.
Yep.
Somebody who, they're not going to spend hours and hours and hours every day looking through all the minute details. They want just like the general experience of doing this.
So see, that's the thing. That's what something I was actually going to bring up to it. Is when you do something like this, you gotta having layers.
Yes.
A game where you can just go. I'm waiting for a meeting. I want to do something. Let me pull out GM mode.
Exactly.
A wrestling GM mode. Let me do a quick card. I can quickly go through my roster, whether it's AEW or just your generic.
Yeah.
Creative wrestlers that you made yourself. And you're like, I'm gonna put this. You're waiting 15 minutes. Show's done. 15 minutes. No, you had your basic things. Great.
You know what?
If you want to go into that deeper, like I want to pick certain, you don't want to have like full on moves. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to pick more detailed finishes.
Yes.
For this, you have that option.
There's an advanced button, and you can be like, okay, finish this way with this on this in this spot.
You can have an intermediate mode, a basic mode, intermediate, advanced,
DQ, and it'll give you an option of weapon.
Yep.
Count out.
Because that's one of the things like they have, like you can do a tainted finish for like TW.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give you the option to say you want them to hold the ropes.
Right.
To pin them. It's just random kind of. It's one of those random things, and it doesn't work that way because I have a specific finish. Again, this is coming from a more advanced person who'd want that stuff.
Right.
But like the whole little arcade like thing, it's cute. Like what they're doing for the AEW game. I don't need it as much. There's a Kickstarter I saw years ago.
Yeah.
A guy who wanted to make a pro wrestling simulation game for the iPhone, and he wanted $30,000. It was kind of little bad because basically he was saying, I've done all this work already. I'm working with this person here. I basically need this money to supplement my income to spend the time on it. So basically, as people were putting in the comment, so you want us to pay you so you can finish the game that you clearly want to make.
Yeah, that you already
not to
said that you've done all the work for.
You've done a lot of work for, but there's still more work because he had obviously pay the artist who was doing the artwork for it, but also to supplement his income so he could spend the time necessary on that.
If he didn't say that did it, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, honestly, that's still money that goes into the project. So.
Yeah, it's going in there, but like when you say
if he didn't say that.
But when you're saying the whole $30,000 is going to fund your you and all, that's not the same as
No.
taking part of that money is going to pay you, but it's to go into developing the game to pay all the other stuff you need.
Unless literally this $30,000 is so that you can spend 1 year polishing this game.
Yeah.
Before you release it, and that that time-wise you're whatever.
But it was
it
was a cool way it was set up. The reason I bring it up because the way it was set up and the way it handled the wrestling is when you said, okay, simulate the card, because he showed the stuff. You just see the two wrestlers like come out like, and they go past the curtain and you just see a little bar of the energy and the finish, but you're not actually seeing the action. That was a little too much for me too, but it was better than just seeing the action because I don't care about the action. Yeah. It's I'm doing this. I want to see the finish of the match, like there, but that's just me.
Oh, add a rating.
Yes, definitely. You gotta have ratings in there.
Yes,
because that's important. Because one of the things I've always thought especially on an iPhone or a app for a phone, is if you had create your own company.
Yes.
An online version is you can compete ratings-wise with other people who play the game. Also, you can have a pool of talent that you have to negotiate for a certain amount of time.
Yes.
And you're doing this.
A league, if you will.
Yeah.
A league mode.
You could do a league. You could do a world mode where everyone's competing against everyone. Their company getting these talent. Some talent will not sign an exclusive contract, so other people could use them.
Yes.
Others who will. But then you can also do your own league with your friends. We're all, me and you, Jedi, anyone else we can think of.
Yikes.
we're gonna do our own little company, and we're just gonna do these shows,
Yeah.
and compete. Great.
It's like, dude, I did a 1.7 this week.
Yep.
And you're like, you son of a bitch, I only did an 865.
So it's one of those things that I think would be definitely cool. You could have a lot of fun with it too.
Yes.
But it was something you have never really seen in a GM mode that you'd want to see.
For
period.
me, like, I'm comparing GM modes from other things, from other sports. One of the things that I never really, it's too much of a wrestling. I understand the booking.
Yeah.
I like that. It's the contracts that I am terrible with.
Yeah.
Because when I start out, I waste way too much money, injure everyone, and then go, cool, I have a skeleton staff because I'm poor, and now the show is suffering.
Yeah.
And then like 3 weeks after that, everyone's back anyway, and I'm like, and we're back on top of everything.
Yeah.
For the next 10 weeks, and then everyone's injured again.
Yeah, I get that too. When playing the NHL EA games,
Yeah.
the contracts,
Oh,
scouting in general is just in the last one, 2019 was like ridiculous. Like
Yes.
it was weird. Also, they took all the GM mode part of it away from you. It was all AI, so you basically were just dealing with the schedule, and that was about it.
yeah.
Which is weird. But the one thing been really wanting to see is, because you can do this in TEW to a point, but it's limited. Like, I want to have a Royal Rumble inside the Hell in a Cell. You can't have a throw over the top rope with a cage over it, based on the programming. I want that to be able to create any match you can possibly create.
Jesus. A Hell in a Cell Royal Rumble.
Oh, see, I'm only getting started with the real match I want to create.
That's just weird.
Oh, you think that's weird? Wait until let me tell you the match I really want to create. I want to create a Hell in a Cell steel cage ladder match.
Okay, I can see it. I
doubt you can.
So the ring has a steel cage.
Yep.
There's a ladder that allows you to get up to the top of the Hell in a Cell that you can climb out the top of it.
Nope.
No?
No, this is a Hell in a Cell match with a cage on top of it with a ladder to get to the belt on top of that.
That's in the middle of that cage?
Actually, I'm thinking about it. No,
So you have to climb almost double the height up to drop back in to then climb another ladder to get to the... Oh my God. You're just evil.
No, I'm actually going to change that. I like the idea of the cage inside the Hell in a Cell, and then you have to climb out on top of the cell and then use a ladder to climb to get the ladder. To get
That's
the belt.
still... dude, as a man who's afraid of heights, screw you. That's just mean.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
Oh, you should see the match type I had of that for my SWA when I was doing on Excel. I had a triple cage matchup, and then you had to climb on top of the third cage to get one of the briefcases.
No, don't.
Yeah, but anyway, I'd love to see something like that. Also, very important to me is in these games having access to your win-loss record easy.
Yes.
Because in TEW 2020, it's a lot easier to get to see your wrestler's win-loss record than it was in 2016. But I should go to your profile and see your win-loss record.
You know that AEW is going to do something like that.
I'm hoping so.
You're going to be able to look over and go, yes, MJF is 0-27 like he should be.
Exactly. Because that kid has no future in the business.
None whatsoever. Absolute jobber. Super
overrated. Can't talk like shit.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But I'd love. That's one of the things like this because that's one of the things I like to use. I like to use that, and most importantly, a streak feature.
Yes.
I want to be able to see how they're when they have a win, they go on a winning streak or they've been on a losing streak.
There's a bonus for being on a streak in either direction.
And also one of the things like I want to be able to see is like if you're on a losing streak and then get a win, it affects your momentum because having a losing streak should hurt your momentum.
Yes,
Obviously. But if you get a win, it helps your momentum somewhat. But if you get a big win over like a Kenny Omega after
somebody who has a high popularity or high momentum, or
not even high momentum, but a huge star,
a higher ranked player,
higher ranked and a huge star.
Okay, yeah,
higher popularity, and you're like a mid carder who's been on a losing streak, and then get that big win, it makes your momentum go. It fixes your momentum.
Oh yeah,
like you'll go unless you're like so far down the line, you just go back to 0.
You're like, well, we're back at 0.
But let's be honest, even if you had that low and you beat Kenny Omega, you're gonna instantly go past that.
Oh yeah,
because it'd be such a big win. But that's the thing. It's a great way to do that. But yeah, I think we need to get more GM modes.
Yes,
especially we have this technology right in our pockets these days.
And it's a great, like, even at its most base version of just, booking matches, dealing with contracts, and getting ratings. At that very base version of it, great mobile game.
Yeah. Also, one of the things that would be also cool is picking arenas.
Yeah.
That's part of your funds because you got to figure out how much you can afford.
As you're going along, you've made more and more money. You can buy the arenas.
That was one of the features in that mobile app that you were able to do.
Also, because every mobile game has to make money somehow, make it a free download. But some of the crazy arenas, like, Tokyo Dome, well, just throw that out. You got to actually buy with cash, or you're going to be playing for quite some time.
So in other words, we're going to take the EA approach and microtransactions in game.
It's a mobile game thing.
It is a mobile game thing that you don't necessarily have to do. I would say if you got a good enough game, like you have because niche markets you can make a lot of money in a niche market.
That's true.
It's got to be the right niche market. You can make a lot of money. I would do aesthetic thing, for that.
Okay.
Personally, if you're gonna do some microtransactions, because you could be cool, you could do like the whole when WWE allowed you in one of the wrestling games to, design your locker room.
Oh God, yeah.
Aesthetic wise, you could do stuff like that. But I don't care about the microtransaction. And yes, you will want to purchase it, but you keep it. It's like a $2.99 download.
Oh, yeah, no, what I'm talking about is like special arenas. They were like, look, you can earn this by having this much money. It's like $200 million to book this, but you're able to make, $5 million your weekly show. So you're like, I can earn it.
Yeah.
It's going to take me a long time.
Yeah.
But I can earn that.
Another thing that'd be cool to see is them to be able to kind of, what was it? I had an idea and I lost it. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Adam.
Because microtransactions.
Microtransactions. That's the thing I want to talk about. Microtransactions.
Oh, okay.
No, no. But it was definitely something that would just be a cool little thing. Also, one thing you could do is you could make it the base game free with ads in there to help make money from it.
That's true.
You can pay for it to get rid of those ads. You could also have, if you wanted the more advanced version, that will cost a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like it's $1 to get rid of the ads, like $2 to get rid of the ads, something like. But if you want the advanced, like what I would want to play, it's gonna be like $3 to actually purchase the game.
And the ads pop up. You've booked the show. You hit start show. There's an ad for you. They go through the show. There's an ad for you.
One thing I would want to steal from that other game that the guy was wanting to make is, well, first off, more than 3 matches. From what it looks like for AEW's game, they're going to have 3 matches on
that's very base. It's very basic.
So that would, for a base game, if we only want to play that, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
That's the pumpkin spice of basic.
But I want, you should have more. You should have as many matches you want because it comes down to budgeting. Remember?
That's true. Now this is an advanced version.
This is the advanced version, but also you can pick your segments into. Okay, this is a match. We're gonna do in-ring interview here.
Yep.
And you can pick that. But also I like the guy's interface. The interface was basically you dragged your wrestler down from the top.
Okay.
And if you wanted to put the belt, if they're a champion, you just click the thing and it says, okay, this is a championship match now.
Cool.
There's a lot. You wanted to make a no rules match or no hardcore match. You just keep clicking the stage and it would cycle through different types of matches.
Oh.
It was a really cool setup, like very simple. You don't have to drag. So it's one of those things where I would definitely like that. But overall, yeah, it's just we're way overdue for this kind of on a mobile phone.
Yes.
Game.
Yes.
And I'm glad to see AEW is doing it. You know, I don't want to see the stupid action part in there. I will still give this game I'm still going to give it a try for sure. Because I may be able to overlook it. Oh, here's an idea, AEW. Giving us an option to turn that shit off.
Yes.
Because if you want to put it in there for the people who
skip
do want
animation.
Skip animation. All you need. That would be awesome.
Yep.
Because some people who, like me, aren't going to want it. People like kids, even teenagers, they may want it.
They may want it.
They may like that. But you can turn it off so you don't have it. It'd be a great little thing. And that's part of being a good wrestling game. Or any good game. You listen to your fans.
Yes. Now, I would love to see in the AEW console game
a
GM mode in there that is more in depth, that allows you to, like, it should be kind of, there should be their story mode or, promotion mode.
Yep.
Booker mode, and then GM mode, and then there should be kind of like you can turn on, like if you're playing in the Booker mode, you should be able to turn on your GM mode or or turn it off. That way you can it's like I can actually just skip the matches and then get back to playing the booking, or for me it would be the booking in the matches.
Yep.
For you it's the GM mode. You're like, no, I signed this talent.
Oh no, it's all of it. Like,
okay.
I want all of it. Like, because that's one of the things I like. When I was playing I think it was 2016.
We call it TK mode.
Version of the NHL for EA. You could do that. You could have some of the.
I remember. I think one of the NBA games had that for a while.
Like you can turn off if you wanted to not have to deal with the maintenance stuff of your arena. You could have the computer turn that on.
I think actually one of the WWE games on, I want to say PS2.
They didn't.
No?
The NEGM mode was always dealing with the contracts and your show, and they never took in my biggest problem here is the thing is they never took advantage of what kind of would be a big matchup based on just the icons.
Yeah.
Because one of the first matches I did when they did GM mode is I put Big Show versus Andre. It wouldn't have been a very good match, but people would have want to see that.
Exactly.
So people were tuned in to see it. It would have been a boring match.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest.
You cut it to 5 minutes.
But people would have came in to see Andre versus Big Show. Let's be honest. But it always did very poor ratings because no one wanted. It was like whatever the reason the name was.
Yeah.
No, that would have been a big money draw match because people would want to see Andre.
Yes.
Especially since Big Show was literally Andre's son in WCW as the Giant.
Yeah.
But that's something you definitely should keep up because that's something in the background the computer should say, oh, people are really liking this,
or
people are liking this.
A match, if you've been doing a build over a couple of weeks, and those promos have been fire, the build matches have been fire, and then you finally book the actual match, and it sometimes, I remember, would just be suddenly they're like, oh no, nobody paid attention to this, and you're like, what? But everything else
was on
it should immediately once those guys, because of all the bonuses that they've been getting in these builds, when this happened, it should be a positive no matter what.
It should be impossible not to get a positive.
Exactly.
One of the things that I'd love to see them do is you can put another thing you'd be this is again is advanced mode, because when I tell you, you're gonna be like, yeah, that's advanced. Is let's say you can book your pay-per-view in advance.
Yes.
it will then can give you recommendations on how to build to those matches.
Yes, it could.
Also, keeping track of hype of wrestlers and saying, oh, your audience would like to see these two people go at it.
Yes.
And the more you don't give it to them, and the better you keep booking them really strong, the hype gets there. So when you actually do that match, you already have that expectation of the dream match.
Exactly.
Rock versus Cena, Rock versus Hogan, Austin versus Hogan that we never got because,
Hogan.
No.
And Austin.
And Austin and Vince thought Hogan and Rock would be better.
I mean, it was. It was pretty good.
Well, when you actually look at that matchup, really pay attention to that matchup. It's a generic wrestling. It's a generic match, but because there was the hype of who was in it, that's why it's so well renowned. And the fact that you had the audience going fucking nuts.
I honestly feel though that The Rock works better with Hogan than Austin would have.
Yes,
because Hogan wouldn't keep up with Austin's in-ring capabilities.
Well, not even that, but also with Austin having legit issues for years with Hogan and why when he got fired from WCW, his whole promo thing as he was recovering from an injury was making fun of Hogan.
Yeah.
And he said that for the longest time, even after I think it was like Brett got into the Hall of Fame and he introduced him, Hogan came over to shake his hand. They walked away from him because when at one point Brett tried to shake Hogan's hand and Hogan walked away from it. It's basically a turn. It's a little pity thing, but there was legit heat for years between that Austin held because he believed he got held back because of people like him when they came over to WCW, which he wasn't wrong.
No.
It wasn't until years later you actually really saw that.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it's one of you could do so much stuff, and based on what you're going for, you can have those different modes.
Oh yeah.
Anything that you'd want to add to this?
Oh, crap. I did have something, and AEW. I want create a universe. I want to be able to book, and create my own show.
Yes, within your own universe.
Yes, and I want there to be able to do a GM mode in that, or ignore it.
Yes. See, one thing with their working relations with NWA.
Yes.
Impact, New Japan.
Does this mean you guys could suddenly have the greatest DLC roster ever?
You working with those companies and saying, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take your top 20 wrestlers from this game, from your company, scan them in. They're going to be player. You get this cut of the profits because it's your company.
That's that DLC, which it'll be the New Japan DLC, and it'll have 20 wrestlers in it.
20 wrestlers.
And maybe a couple months down the road, if that sells well, we'll release another group of people. One just called the Bullet Club.
One of the things that I saw on the channel for the games was saying
and you can charge for that.
Once
again, microtransactions.
One of the things they pointed out is what if your guy comes back and he has a new look? Being able to keep up to date on a regular basis, something they want to do in the game.
See, that would be cool.
The thing that people have been asking for 2K WWE games, someone comes back from injury in August, or right after the new game dropped, and they're under their old look, but they have a new look now. You can't fix them.
Yes.
Even though you can now edit characters in there, but you cannot edit them the way fully to the new look.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. A new update to their
honestly, it's kind of just a skin.
Yeah, but also going back to your packets, DLC is not microtransactions in mind.
No. I don't think so, because you are getting sometimes upwards of almost a full game.
Yeah, based on the size of the DLC, you should decide the price for it.
Oh, of course.
And if you did a New Japan packet, you get 30 wrestlers. Let's say 30 wrestlers.
30. Okay.
So if you really want to do your own New Japan in GM mode, you could. Also, you get all the championship belts.
Yes.
There.
That's part of the first DLC.
That's part of the first DLC. And then if that one does well, you bring in some more lesser known talent.
Yep.
For that. But you could do that with Impact. You could do that, and you're really making while it's an AEW game, it's a big pro wrestling game. So if AEW Impact got a wrestling game deal, people can play it here, but they saw that game, they could do this kind of same thing. We're gonna have an AEW packet because we work with them
Exactly.
in our game. It's really cool thing. Also because I just want to have an Impact game so we could then just do the Ultimate X match.
Yes.
I just want that. That's the
Oh
whole
my
thing.
god! Actually, part of the Impact download is an Ultimate X match
It's like, you get all this,
and the 6-sided ring.
It's funny like they announced the Impact. Like you have the 6-sided ring. Okay. You have these characters. You have all these belts.
Okay.
Okay. And Ultimate X.
Yes!
Like you don't care about anything else. Ultimate X. Yes. Do an entire show only Ultimate X.
Only Ultimate X matches.
I can only imagine Nua with Ultimate X in it.
I want something like that.
Something tells me you would somehow tie that to the Chowder Championship.
It's a triple threat
That,
match.
Ultimate X.
Once a month ladder match. At the pay-per-views, instead of Elimination Chamber, it's an Ultimate X 6-man match. No eliminations. First one to pull down the championship.
Through the ropes. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you today on As the Buckle Turns, the Blake Club.
It's just Debate Club, man.
Then speak it correctly.
I
Screwed
up. Can I go back in time and fix the problems of my past?
Go back in time and stop yourself from saying it, and we won't ever say it because you would have fixed it. Though you would have gone back. You would have never gone back in time.
I would have, yeah.
Well, somehow going back in time works for the Doctor, so why not for you?
That's because he can. Timey-wimey, wibbly-bobbly, wobbly. We're good. We're good.
Okay, so.
Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly.
Anyways, you made it to the end of the show, so why don't you go and give this video a thumbs up? You're clearly liking what we're talking about. Since we forgot it, go down and comment down on what you thought of this episode and answer the question of the video podcast. You pick
The topic?
the topic. The topic is what feature would you want to see in a wrestling GM mode for a phone, either iPhone,
mobile?
whatever.
And honestly, I kind of want to know, what would you put into the how deep would you go for a console?
There you go. Answer those two questions in the comment section. And since you're liking this because you gave us a thumbs up, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Ding!
Ring the bell.
Ding! Ding!
Make sure it's the bell that, turns on all notifications so you know when all As the Buckle Turns and I guess Zop Gaming content goes live.
Also, everyone who does do that, you guys are awesome.
Awesome, but not like Adam, because Adam sucks. Your face get bent. Bye.